Yup, that's right. Another week. At this point, another Minecraft cape leak. If 3 capes weren't enough for you this year, how about 4? So there I was, little old me editing this week's snapshot video. I mean, the happy gas, the gasoline. How could you not love it? The stuff is adorable when, all of a sudden, an unfamiliar, omnipresent sound from across my room. You see, believe it or not, I'm still this singular person that uses a home phone in the world, and I've actually modified the sound of the home phone to sound, well, yeah, a little bit something like that. This is crazy. The notification going off, well, it was all about the brand new Minecraft preview, and on top of that, some more spicy leaks. The like button, hit it hard and soft, and to Minecraft preview 1.21.80.27. So there's something quite odd about this preview. Minecraft Summer Drop Update, it seems to have finally just about properly kicked off. It's in full swing. However, this preview is kind of small. Like crossing off all of the technical stuff that makes up over half of the changelog, you can see basically everything right here. And some of the stuff isn't even for this update. The odd thing here is that previews usually get small when an update is almost over. Wonder if that means next week we'll see 1.21.90 or even 1.22 and a bunch of brand new features for the summer update. Jumping in game to this preview, we actually, inside of this week's update, have a gigantic buff to the Elytra. Coming fresh off of the heels of the Happy Gas update, the beginning of it, I mean, this is interesting to say the least. So our change here, it has to do with rockets and rocket boosting on the Elytra. I don't know how to even use it on Bedrock, I guess. The Elytra, when I use a rocket previously, when using rockets to boost, if I were to say, use a rocket near a block, well, the rocket would launch off of the block instead of launching me. Hold on a minute, maybe I'm just a complete fool. Probably. But the update, it doesn't actually seem to be working for me. Allegedly, the Elytra got way better in this update. While gliding, using a firework should only be used as a boost, even if placed on a block. I guess my clownness is showing right here, but even when I place it on a block, like, I get close and I just fail and it launches. So, allegedly it's better. 2 previews ago, one of the most exciting changes of all time made it over to Bedrock Edition, the super flat worlds. They got way better. Since that initial change now, a little bit of time has passed. When it comes to our presets, do we have a brand new one? Well, no. Super flat lover to make your day even worse. When creating a super flat world, advancements, achievements are also still completely locked. That's interesting. Maybe they're saving this one for the next update, but we know that at least one more preset, the void, is on the way. But it's all about the wording here, because in the changelog, it says changes are on the way, not just one. Taking a look at the presets that we have right now, other than the void, well, after they add that one, we would be in perfect parity with Java. So I wonder if we're going to get even more soon. Vibrant visuals. You know, going into this preview, I was so curious if we were going to actually see any change with the vibrant visuals or if the updates to this stuff would be few and far between. Today here, we've got a brand new toggle, Clouds Medium. I think that one was definitely not there before. So just for consistency's sake, we go ahead and leave it on medium and check it out. This is kind of what we're looking at. Then if we go ahead and say maybe crank it all the way up to ultra, back out and take a look at the clouds here. I mean, look, maybe you'll be able to spot the difference here, but I'm not too sure really what has changed with the clouds. Also, I haven't adjusted any brightness settings, but everything feels insanely washed out, like way more washed out in this preview. Reason being behind that one, that might be because of the re-enablement of a local exposure on all platforms. So I'm not quite sure exactly what all of that means, and if the clouds have even changed at all. I guess we could lower them all the way down and just see. Oh, you know what? When I put the clouds on low, they totally look a little bit, whoa, they totally look a little bit less detailed. I think that's what's going on here. But wow, I just am still so obsessed with vibrant visuals. Stay tuned. I've got another deep dive coming at you very, very soon here. Made some cool discoveries. But for today's update, stained glass will now render with the correct color. So unfortunately, previews, old ones being a bit of a lost media here, I don't know exactly what they looked like before. I never thought to try them out. But when it comes to our correct colors of stained glass, I mean, here's a small taste of the lineup. We've got purple, yellow, orange, more purple, cyan, and red. Flipping things over to noon right now so we can see like full brightness. And I mean, yeah, the stained glass colors, they look really, really good, especially from the top with the sun above them. Like that stuff really pops. Commands inside of this update, we've got a brand new one. This is all starting to make me wonder if the creator camera toggle is ever going to come to Java. After all, like they kind of almost use a version of it with the flying mob stuff, right? So in game, when using this command, we run /control scheme, then we set a target, then we could go ahead and set it to whatever we really want, which is pretty crazy because you could actually set the player's movement based off of the camera's position the world, or the player. This stuff right here is actually pretty amazing and super duper powerful. I guess also it was on the low inside of the code in last week's preview, actually. Now, maybe our biggest change inside of this week's preview actually has to do with biomes all over the overworld and what you can and can't do with them. So really cool and a little bit of a low-key thing. If you're over on Bedrock Gang, which I feel like maybe a good chance you are, but more specifically, you're Bedrock Gang trying to create modding gang, there's actually a creator channel with only 2,000 subscribers, and this is an official channel that will show you how to use a bunch of this technical stuff. They also even do update deep dives for the updates that add more technical things to the game. Now, even if you're not a modder, if you think about it for a second, the idea of custom biomes is one of the biggest things that, like, mods have always wanted to do. And not only biggest things, but also most useful things, too. Say, for example, this giant mountain biome, I want to use my custom calcite stone block set. Well, if I could create a custom biome with custom biome definitions, maybe new trees as well, then I could make it happen. On the Creator Hub, there's a technical video showing off all of the code work, the hours you would need to lock in so you could maybe create, yes, the green biome of all time. Now, this command is so locked in advance already, they're implementing a chill oasis biome. Oasis, wait a second. And then some sort of warm savanna biome as well with tons of different trees. Of course, you know our motto, we love speculation, but we're not brain rot over here. I wouldn't interpret this video as any kind of hint or anything at what's coming soon. It's just more so a perfect showcase of what you could do with this custom biome stuff, which is insanely powerful. Documented in the changelog right at the top of this thing, we've got replace biomes. That is all of that custom biome stuff. There are some issues with mob spawning in these custom biomes. I wonder if that's a hint at the mob spawning game rule. You know, the entire thing that they said was coming soon back in October, November last year. Finally actually coming soon. Basalt generators. It's been a while since I've cooked one of these things up. I think it's something with the lava. We have a little bit of soul sand and blue ice. No, not like that. Soul soil. There we go. That's how we do it. The basalt generator. Well, it works again. I guess at some point or another, it got bugged on Bedrock Edition. That's big saying. You know, maybe this is a hot take or something. Don't mean to be offensive, but I think Mojang needs to do a better job at incentivizing structures they add to the game. Like, I legitimately, since the Trail Ruins, whatever, was added to the game in 1.20 over a year ago. Wait, no, going on 2 years ago. I don't think I've ever come to this thing aside from, like, one time to actually check it out a little bit in survival. We should have gotten, like, a cool new tool or something useful from the Trail Ruins. Inside of this update, the Trail Ruins actually has a little bit of parody placement for the one fan of this thing out there. Tucked all the way down to the bottom of this week's changelog, Trail Ruins generate in the same location in a biome that is called the Mutated Birch Forest that only exists on Bedrock. That is because I think on Java, we're talking about the tall or the old growth of Birch Forest biome. The mechanic is really cool and all, and I love the idea of it, but be honest, when's the last time you checked out a Trail Ruin? A hotfix update, brand new one. This dropped this week. I'll just go ahead and show it to you. If you're on Bedrock, you got a new update, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Current Cape update. Wait, why is that me? The event server is back. So if you can remember, the movie event was meant to originally end right after the movie actually released, basically. Well, in a little bit of an unprecedented move, they've actually gone ahead and extended the timeline of this event server for 1 week. By the time you're watching this, that's like 5 more days or something. So this is actually pretty sick. If you wanted to get your hands on the cape, but you just needed a little bit more time to actually pull off some of these challenges, well, no big deal. You have until like next Monday to be able to finish everything. This is actually kind of an unprecedented move for Minecraft. They said it's because of an unprecedented demand and yearning for the mines. Remember too that once you unlock this cape on Bedrock, well, you'll actually have it on Java Edition as well. It'll automatically transfer over and you'll have it forever. So grab it while you can. But this won't be the last cape Minecraft is releasing. That's because there's another cape that we know about, and we might be able to get it in like less than a month's time. Wham! Over on Twitter, infamous Minecraft information searcher. So this is a cape that we've talked about briefly before, and based off of information that was found in the code by Wham, Smokey Stack, and others, we know that basically all you're going to have to do is sign in with your cape to be able to get the free cape forever. Now this cape, I mean, I think it's a pretty nice cape. It's a bit of a default cape, if you will. But for a default cape and just matching Minecraft's aesthetic in general, it's pretty nice. And hey, wait a second. A cape with not Jack Black on it. I didn't even think they could do that anymore. It's a grass block cape. I think it looks pretty nice on the Elytra. And we could probably get it in May. Smokey Stack. So in last week's preview, Smokey was actually able to find some interesting new assets for the cape and even the date. So our brand new cape assets right here, we have the player wearing the cape in this tiny pixel form. I need a game with this pixel art. This is so fire. And then we've got a still of the player with the cape as well. It looks nice. So, Mojang left the date for when we can find the cape inside of the files. Now, Smokey didn't want to be the one to break the initial news, so, well, a bunch of other people did it. By diving down into the replies of Smokey's little announcement, the date, well, you're going to be able to find it pretty much immediately. Allegedly next month, until next month, next year. With this date quickly approaching, and with that timeline lining up with the middle of summer drop snapshots, oh man, it gets me excited for the future. Kind of feel like maybe this means Mojang is planning something very large for the rest of the month and leading into May. Oh, and release dates for this update? That kind of might have just revealed it too. So the preview that we took a look at for the most part today, it dropped on April 8th right here. Today, breaking news, it is April 9th. Let's say for a second that this is the last preview and this begins the new update previews like next week. That would mean that a week or two after that one right here is when this update could potentially release. So let's say that that is the 0.80 update. That would mean 1 week after that, we get the new cape inside of the game. Alternatively here, we have one more week of previews, so let's say there's one next week of this current update. Then after that, we would have 2 weeks after that, and the cape releases on the day of the update. Look, I mean, none of this is set in stone, but both of those situations sound very realistic to me. What do you think? How many new capes is too many new capes? Thank you all so much for watching today's video. That's all I've got for you this week. With such a smallish preview on the non-technical side of things, I wonder if next week we begin a brand new era. Smash like, subscribe, and by the way, channel members, there's a brand new video out now taking a look at vibrant visuals for like 17 more minutes. It's pretty cool. It's like a deep dive. For that video and to support me directly, tap join for more. There's a link down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much.